So I enjoy drawing since I was a kid. I think I was born with a pencil and paper in hand. I was always watching basically a lot of the 80s cartoons that we all grew up watching. And then I super remember, I was like flipping the channels, and then suddenly I was like, what is this cartoon? Like, this is something like I've never seen it. I think my little mind couldn't comprehend, right? Like, it was super well animated, the acting was super good, and I got hooked immediately. Orbitals is a space co-op adventure set in an 80s anime world. When we started working on the project, we said, like, let's work on an anime game, right? And that could mean a multitude of things, right? But the 80s, probably because we grew up with it, felt super special to us. It was piggybacking on a very honest and true emotion. Like, we felt nostalgic for like the line art, you know, the type of animation that was popular at the time, how eccentric and then like brave the kind of choices that were done in the time were. And we thought, like, since we're going for this authentic feeling, right, like trying to really get the way anime was done back in the day, why don't we go back to the source, right, to the actual people that made these things back in the day. And immediately the name of Mr. Yoshida came about. He's an animation director, a legend basically, that worked on all these shows, and we wanted to basically leverage his deep and rich knowledge about anime to bring to the project.
もう40数年前にこの業界に入りまして、パソコンとかもいじらないタイプの人間なので、昔ながらの鉛筆と消しゴムで、手書きでは書いてましたけれどもね。手書きのいいところは絵や画面が硬くならないっていうことだとは思うんですけれども、まあやっぱりそのキャラクターから背景から色合いまで、やっぱりそこら辺を目指してるんだなっていうのは、話を聞いてると分かりましたね。再現したいというか、まあ当時のそういうのが好きだったんだろうなっていうのは、アニメと今従来のセルアニメの作り方に準じてるとは思いますね。キャラクターが面白くないと面白くならないとは思うので、そういうとこは芝居付けをしたり、っていうところ、まあ表情も含めてねっていうのはやってましたけど、当時のそういう雰囲気はまあ絵や色もそうだけど、まあ動きのタイミングとかっていうのも、昔の若手のそういうタイミングの取り方とかっていうのができていたりもしてたので、まあ割と再現はされてるとは思いますね。
We learned a lot of things from Yoshida-san. It's been 4 years or something like that I've been like deeply in the weeds of like learning this style, and I think I'm still learning like new things every day. And all of that is thanks to the amazing work that he provided. Orbitals from the ground up is designed to be played by 2 people. It's not single player, it's not like a massive multiplayer by any kind. It's an adventure designed for 2. And that basically, it's so rooted into what Orbitals is, that it's kind of expressed in the story. You know, it's Maki Nomura's adventure. It's expressed in the mechanics that we make, it's expressed in the way we make the music. Everything is designed for like to represent like this 2 people adventure. And the reason for that is because it's not just about recreating a feeling about anime from the 80s. It's recreating a feeling of sharing this anime experience with a friend, with a family member, you know. Around the time Jacob joined, like he brought all his experience that he had from his previous work and a very clear vision. Orbitals is a space co-op adventure, and that co-op, it's there, right? It's in the idea, so that had to click and it had to be good, and I think he brought that along with him.
But it was really important to me that if it's going to be a co-op experience, we only want that sort of co-op where you have to work together and you have to rely on each other. Good co-op requires a lot of communication, and you need to make sure that you design stuff that promotes the players actually speaking to each other and actually talking with each other, which can be a bit of a challenge. I think when people start designing co-op, it's easy to fall into this sort of trap where you're designing what I like to call start-stop co-op. It's the sort of thing where like you go and stand on a pressure plate to hold open a door, the other player runs through it, but during that time you're not interacting with the game at all, you're just standing there and you're kind of static. So even though you need to rely on each other, it doesn't create this sort of fun, chaotic co-op where you're both active at the same time. It's like fun moments happen between the players as they're communicating. One of the things that we've done in Orbitals is we have 4 different tools that you bring with you into different levels. So we got the liquid launcher, the scrapbook, the beam cannon, and the spirit jug. And make sure that even though you're using the same tools, there's always a new use case for them whenever you go to a new level. So I think a cool thing about Orbitals is that you have this ship that you travel around the world with. And we have minigames in the game, both co-op minigames and versus minigames. And an interesting thing that we did is that we put them all on the ship. So when you unlock a new minigame, you're always bringing it with you. And if there's one in particular that you enjoy, you can always come back to play it between levels since it's always on the ship. So when it comes to why we chose the Switch 2 for Orbitals, I think it makes a lot of sense. One of the reasons is because when you play a game like this, if you play it locally, you only have to buy one game. And we want that to be the case even if you play it together with someone online. So that's where GameShare comes in, and it kind of becomes the perfect fit for a game like this, because you just buy one game and then you can use GameShare in order to share it together with someone else. So even when we're developing the game, we use GameShare a lot in order to test the game. And a funny thing that happens is sometimes being a game studio, there's controllers everywhere, but sometimes you just can't find one within reach. So then we'll just grab another console and we'll just use GameShare instead in order to play together.
Orbitals is a love letter to the experience of watching anime as kids, to watching these shows that basically shaped the kind of people we are today. So if you resonate with this idea of like going back home, you know, and like turning on the TV and like kind of waiting for your favorite show to start, and then like, then it starts, and then you watch it, and then you go and tell your friends about it, and you laugh and you cry, and you have all these emotions connected to watching anime and having shared experiences. If this is important to you, I think you're gonna like Orbitals.
If you have someone in your life that you would like to spend more time with or get closer with, or if gaming is a big hobby for you and you would like to kind of share that hobby together with someone else, I hope that you use Orbitals to kind of share a meaningful and fun experience together with those people.